All right. Good morning, everyone. Nice to see everyone here this morning. We only have one presenter online, no team members online?
I think Jeremy's going to jump on.
Okay.
This is Dana.
Awesome.
But I don't know when. I'll text him.
Oh, super. Well, we will start. Good morning, everyone. This is the June 18th, 2025 meeting of the special events team at the City of Boise. Just a reminder, we don't make decisions at this meeting specifically. It's just a great opportunity for event organizers and everyone who has a part in making events successful and safe and healthy in our community are around the same table to ask and answer questions. We will start per usual with introductions. My name is Maria Wegg with the Office of Community Engagement here at the City of Boise. Tanya, we'll start with you.
Tanya Motisi, Ada County Highway District.
Ed Graves, Public Works.
Conrad McDaniel, Republic Services.
Vince Vergara, City of Boise Parking.
Connie Ward, Risk and Safety.
Dinko Mukovic, Central District Health. Joey Eccles, Boise Parks and Rec.
Heather Zeitlin, Community Accessibility Program Manager. Camille Rogers, Ada County Paramedics.
Jesse Tapper, Boise Fire Prevention.
Joe Deathman, Boise Fire Operations.
Cameron Colas, Boise Police Department.
Matt Konvalinka, Boise Police.
Taylor Gomez, Boise Police.
Rachel Hilford, Emergency Preparedness.
And Kelly Frank, Office of Community Engagement.
All right. And first up, Hands Around the Capitol 2025. Very, very cool event. Dana, are you presenting? Eric, are you presenting? Dana.
Hi, this is Dana. We all three are.
And Dana, can you hear us well enough?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. Yep, we sure can.
Eric, did you want to start?
There, yeah. Sure.
No, you got to like press the button. The mics are weird, but it's the only way the system picks up the audio.
You know, but we have mics. It's great. Let me make sure I'm talking into it. I'm Eric Kingston. I'm a volunteer with the Idaho Access Project and a few other projects around town. And today we're going to talk about the Hands Around the Capitol event. This will be the fourth one I've been involved with, third one in person. It's a great event every 5 years. We had to do the last one kind of virtually because of the pandemic. But basically what you see on the screen here is an aerial view of the State House, and you can just make out the line of people kind of around the sidewalk that circles the State House, all holding hands, and thus the name. So I guess we can go ahead and go forward, and Dana will take over.
This is Dana, and I cannot see the slideshow.
Oh, it looks just like the one you sent me.
Yeah, it's not on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Is there any way to put it on PowerPoint? I mean, to put it on the Zoom?
Yes, just 1 second here.
Do you want me to do an audio description for you, Dana?
No, I got it. I got it in front of me, but it's just easier.
Okay. Oh, he says it's on Zoom on their side.
Huh? I don't see it. How would I get it?
Do you have a priest nearby you can call?
Oh, well, I lost a contact this morning, so
that might be it.
I got one eye closed and one eye open, so I could just go.
Dana, what are you seeing?
I'm just seeing everybody in the room.
Oh.
Okay, I got it. I switched it to speaker view. Sorry about that. Okay, well, I'm Dana Gover with the Northwest ADA Center and the Idaho Access Project, and also with Link. This Hands Around the Capitol is a joint venture with the CILs and the state, because it's a state event, and also with the Idaho Access Project, and also with the Northwest ADA Center Idaho. As Eric said, we've done this 3 times in person, 2010 and 2015. And this year we're doing it at the park again. I think you guys might want to know, we're trying to do a little bit different than we have done previously. we are inviting different groups from different walks of life to our event. And this year we're going to have some multicultural performances. We're also invited a national leader, Kelly Buckland, that is originally from Idaho, to do one of the speakers at our event. So Eric, you want to go to the next slide, please?
Actually, Kelly's advancing the slides.
So I tried just to hit on these slides some of the questions that I've received in the last couple of weeks, and I put most of this up on the portal. And I'm sure it's confusing for you guys because I could not figure out how to take off the old ones and add the new ones. So if you're confused, I apologize. So first, we're going to set up on Thursday, July 24th, and the setup window is from 1 to 5. I think Tanya had questions about the street closure. So we did get an extra day for street closure from 1 to 5, and that's on the next slide. But that day we'll be having the stage, and we may not have tents, but we did put that in because we thought we were going to. And then we'll have the sanitation, the porta potties, and 3 hand washing stations delivered, and also the dumpsters, the 8-yard, and the recycling. And I talked to Conrad quite a bit about how to do this. Next slide. So this shows the traffic plan for July 24th, and you can see the capital Y is blocked off closest to the park. Do you have any questions before I move on to the next slide?
No, Dana, you can just go through the slides, and then after you're finished, we'll go around the table again.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Do you want to advance the next slide, please? So the event is on July 25th, and the time is 11 to 4. However, the final setup will be between 7:30 and 10. We're receiving a fire inspection sometime between 9 and 9:30. The balloons will be installed by Magic Balloons, and the canopies, generators, and the ice and water, and the booths will be set up by 10. The stage, that's more for decoration, not for setting up the stage. And then the next slide, please. And tear down window is 4:15 to 7 p.m. And then we will have, I think the sanitation is going, United States Site Service is going to pick up the porta potties. And then we'll be breaking down the equipment, Idaho Tints and Rental, and the balloon removal will be by Magical Balloons. Next slide, please. So street closures. So Jefferson Street, 6 to 8 will be closed. Capital Y, east and west to Jefferson. 6th and 8 will remain open to traffic. And we will have the barriers, we will have volunteers manning the barriers. We did that last time in 2015 to remove for emergency access. And 6th and 8th streets will remain open. Next slide, please. And here's the street closure map for the 25th. And then the emergency medical plan. I'm going to have Jeremy just go over that really fast. Most of this is with the emergency medical plan is the next couple slides. If that's okay, Jeremy, if you want me.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So the emergency medical plan is fairly straightforward. We're going to have volunteers who we do some pre-training with that will be on site, kind of roaming, and they'll have communications, handheld communications, and we've got text groups we're going to set up. Let's see, we'll have a station kind of located for lost child near Ascent Medical in the northeast corner of the park. Medical services, we have contracted with Ascent Medical, and they're just doing basic first aid. They're going to have one certified EMT on site, and they'll have a booth, they'll have water, hydration supplies, and then they'll also have an ambulance, but that's mostly for branding. The intent is not to transport people in that ambulance, but to call, kind of stabilize and then call 911 essentially. We talked to the BPD folks, didn't think we needed any additional law enforcement kind of formally engaged in this. The threat assessment seemed to be kind of low. Let's see. What else do I want to say? And then the evacuation plan that we put together, we've got the corners of 6th and Jefferson, Capitol, Capitol, East and Bannock, and 6th and Bannock. We've got concrete kind of pathways that we'll keep clear for egress, and if we need to quickly get people out of the park for some reason. And Dana, what else?
Well, I think it's on the next slide, but go ahead and advance the next slide. And I know this is a big one with the drone pilot with Blake, and I thought that this was probably into emergency in case there's an emergency. I know Rachel said that we needed to have their phone number, which is on the emergency and medical plan that I sent. And I think I said another one last night in the middle of the night. So I apologize, but I updated that to make sure you guys got it. Let's go to the next one. And Jeremy went over this. I might just say a little bit about the evacuation emergency exits. We have columns on each corner of the park, and they will be labeled. And when we get to the map, I can kind of explain that a little bit. Let's see. And Eric's going to talk a little bit about Navalins, because that also helps with navigation for people who are blind or low vision or do not speak English. Next slide, please. So here's the map. So you guys can see how we kind of went around and did the emergency exits. So we went counterclockwise, or clockwise. So that might not make sense to you guys, but we did emergency exit 1, and that's where Ascent Medical is going to be located. And you see a fire truck there. We have Jeff with Courageous Kids Climbing, and he is trying to work with first responders. He does a really good training and also education with people with disabilities about first responders. And I think he's going to be in Boise working with fire chief and somebody at the police department in the morning. I don't know if that's on Zoom or if he's coming personally, but that's why the fire truck's up there, if you guys are wondering. That could happen and it may not happen. It just depends on how much bandwidth that the fire department has. Now, if you go down to the corner of Bannock and 6th, that's where our emergency exit 2 is. And right underneath there in the first 2 parking spaces is where the dumpster and the recycle bin is. And then if you go over to Bannock to the Capitol Wise, there's emergency exit 3. Right above that will be the balloon arch and the welcome information booth. And then if you go up, would be emergency exit 4. And then we also have Red Cross that'll be there, and we have them stationed at the other exit. And they're not going to be doing emergency. They're just there to hand out water and educate people on what the emergency, on what they do. And you can also see we have a stage. I worked a lot with Joey to figure out, what's a good location for the stage. So the stage is 30 by 20. We have the Lost Kids area. That's kind of an area. It's not really, we'll figure that out more. Like Jeremy said, it's going to be closer to Ascent. And then we broke up different zones. You might be wondering why we're doing that. And we did that because we have over 60 booths. It's not really vendors. It's people and organizations that represent people with disabilities or provide services. And I have a map that lists every single one of those. And when I was going to upload this to the presentation, I just thought that would be way more too confusing for you guys to look at. So this kind of gives, just the basics of what's in the area on the maps. So, and the zones, there'll be organizations for each zone that kind of fall underneath that. As you can see, the porta potties are facing 6th Street. We want to make sure that we are a model for accessibility, and we are humans and we also have disabilities, but everything is not always perfect. So we're hoping to do a really good job with access. Next slide, please. And here's what Jeremy was talking about with the routes marked with the balloon columns that will have a vinyl sticker on each one of those. And next slide, please. And I don't know if this is important. We had the certifications approved by city, ACHD, state of Idaho, the special event permit. I put the numbers down, the dumpster permit we have. The fire permit we don't have because we have to have an inspection first, but I just put the number down. And then the next slide, please. Waste management. Now this was I talked a lot to Conrad and about this. And then I talked to Joey. I was working with Sherry with the Soul Food Festival. And she was recommending that we just ask if we could contract with the City Parks Department to manage waste collection. So as far as I know, that's what we're going to do. We're going to pay the City Parks Department to pick up waste and manage that. But we will also have volunteers on site to make sure the park's picked up too. Let's go to the next slide. And I talked a little bit already about the placement of the porta potties and also the hand washing stations. We will have 6, all ADA compliant. So there's no 5% ratio. We just want to make sure anybody could go to the bathroom when they wanted to and not have to wait if there was, only a few ADA accessible toilets. And next slide, please. And our accessible parking plan, I worked a lot with, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Not Joey, but with the parking department.
Vince.
Vince has been so helpful. So we are renting the parking all around the parking for around the Capitol Park, and also up 6th Street down to from State Street to Bannock on both sides of the street. Because one of the biggest issues that we find is there's never enough accessible parking for people with disabilities. So we wanted to make sure we have that parking, and those will be reserved for people with disabilities and some of our other volunteers to load in, load out. And next slide, please. And Eric, you get to take it away with Navalens.
Okay. So how many of you are familiar with Navalens codes or visited the watershed recently? So the Boise watershed uses Navalens codes. There's an example of a Navalens code on the right kind of upper side of that slide. They are similar in some ways to a QR code, and you're all familiar with those. But with a QR code, you have to kind of get right up to it, make sure your phone is steady, make sure the code is not moving, and wait for a while until you get the little yellow bar to pop up, and then you tap that and you go to the website. Well, a Navalens code, if I've got their app downloaded on my phone, I can be walking at speed past a Navalens code that could be anywhere from 2 feet to 8 feet off the ground, and it can be in an angle, and it'll instantly recognize that code. And if I'm somebody who's blind or low vision and I'm using an earbud, it instantly starts reading the navigational information or interpretive information that's been uploaded to the site for that code. So Dana mentioned the balloon columns at each of the emergency exits. So those are actually, vertical balloon columns with a large balloon on top that has a vinyl sticker with the number of that emergency exit posted there in a couple places. So it's easy to identify those really quickly. So each of those emergency exit points or entry points will have a Navalens code. We're purchasing some basically sidewalk sandwich boards that are narrow and about 4 feet off the ground. And those will have codes on them. So we don't have to stake anything in the ground. We can just put these like off the side of the path as people are coming and going. And then we'll also have Navalins codes at each of those zones that Dana mentioned, where you've got clusters of vendors or trade tables or informational tables. So each of those will have its own Navalins code to kind of explain to people, this is what you can find at the food trucks, for instance, or, in the, this is where the stage is, and just to orient people basically to the site if they're blind or low vision. And the other nice thing about Navalins is all the information that we type in English is instantly available in 40 different languages. So for folks who are non-English speakers, they even have Basque because they're based in Spain. So they're all about the Basque language. So, we've purchased 10 codes through the Idaho Access Project, and our first use is going to be at the Hands Around the Capitol, but we're basically going to rotate the use of those. We're kind of reaching out to folks with High Aldi that's coming up the following week, and then see how we can use those around the city just as a demonstration project to show people what those codes look like and, how they work. So any questions on the Navalins codes or how you can use them out at the watershed? It's pretty amazing. The watershed's been kind of the first use in Boise, I think. So it was really nice to go out there. We had our Cross Disability Task Force meeting out there a while ago and got to experiment with those.
This is Dana. I think the Navalins codes, the watershed they are just amazing what they're doing out there. And it's not just in Boise, it's like Idaho and the Northwest. I don't think they're used at all in the Northwest.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting.
And I guess the only thing I'll add to that is the Navalins codes are basically widely used throughout Europe. They're also used in the entire Japanese transit system. Their trains, buses, et cetera. And in the New York transit system in New York City uses them. So they're super helpful in a lot of big cities that where people need to be able to navigate quickly.
And another thing that we're doing too is we're having 4 Spanish translators on site, and also 4 sign language interpreters that will be on site all day. So people who, for their first language is not English, or if it's Spanish, then we will have interpreters there for people.
And I think the watershed's actually uploaded some ASL interpretation of some of the informational materials in a video format, so that someone who's deaf or hard of hearing that doesn't necessarily read English, fluently, which is not uncommon, they can pull up a video of the ASL interpretation for that. So.
And I think that's our presentation, except for the video. Do you want to do the video real fast?
Can't keep up with my rhythm though, they keep trying.
And that's it. So we stand for questions. Thank you.
But just to clarify, you've seen some references to blue line and red line in the map and in that video. And that just means that people are being routed around the sidewalk, you know, going to either side of the State House in front. So they're not all going in one direction. They're kind of going around and meeting in the middle on the opposite side. So
Great.
just to make that more efficient. That's it.
Thank you. Thanks, you guys. It was a really good presentation, and it's awesome to have this event back. Start with any questions. Start with Tanya.
Hi, guys. Thanks for the presentation. Very thorough. It sounds like a very sweet event. I had some questions about pet accommodations on the south side of Jefferson. It looks like you have a stage on that side in the park. Are there going to be cords or power or anything across the sidewalk there?
No, there won't. This is Dana. There won't be any cords. We're having generators.
Okay, excellent. And it
And
looks
there's a
like
sound guy right in front of the tree. He's been there for the last 2010 and 2015. He's professional.
excellent. Thank you. I have everything I need other than pending your traffic control review.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. Just some quick, excuse me, questions. One, I guess it's not a question, but just make sure when you're dumping any of recyclables into the recycling dumpster that they're dumped loosed. They shouldn't be bagged. Yep, just a reminder. And then, was there going to be a food vendor or vendors?
Dan,
Yeah,
do you
there's
wanna-
5
wanna
food
talk about that?
vendors.
5. Okay. I couldn't tell. Would you, and I can send you the link, but just make sure if you could and electronically distribute our vendor low waste guide to those vendors.
You bet.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, please let me know if you don't have that link or can't find it. I'll be happy to provide it. And then just lastly, the balloons are going to be helium.
No,
No,
they're
Okay.
air.
they're basically on a steel structure. And so there's no helium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much and have a great event. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good morning. Thank you for the presentation. Yeah, Dana, thank you. We've been communicating a lot and that's been great. So first of all, I want to thank you for that. And I just need to confirm with Vince that we're good on parking for the dumpsters. And then the rest is up to me. I need to make sure that we get your order inputted correctly. And then once I can verify that, I'll be good to go.
Thank you, Conrad.
Thank you.
Dana, we have all the details that we need for parking worked out, so we're set. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for so many pointers. I want to tell you though, before you guys ask any more questions, this guy is amazing. I sent him an email on Memorial Day and guess what? He called me. And then I sent him another email the other night at, I don't know, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and he called me, or it was a holiday or something. So you guys have got a really great guy. Vince is amazing. So just kudos to you. Thank you.
Hi there. We have your certificate of insurance, so you're good to go with us.
Hi, Central District Health has received your notification of event and the list of food vendors, so you guys are good to go. A couple of your food vendors, they do own and operate multiple food trucks, so we'll either reach out to them for confirmation of which unit they're operating, or we might ask you guys as well. But thank you.
Thank you for the presentation, Dana and Eric. It was good to meet y'all at the park last week. So I was excited to learn more about the event and the setup, and we'll continue to work through all the little questions with the park as we get a little closer. Thank you.
Hi, Dana. Hi, Eric. Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm really excited about the event celebrating the ADA, bringing it to the state. No notes on accessibility, so let me know if you need anything else.
Thanks, Heather. Well, I just want to thank you, Heather. Heather is really part of the committee, so she's been right there with us. So Heather's doing a great job, and thank you, Heather.
Hi, Dana. We got everything we need for medical, so I think we're good to go.
Very good presentation. Just had one question about the stage on your permit. It said the stage was going to be 16 by 20, but it looked like it was a different size on the footprint map that you gave.
It's
Is
gonna be
that- is that-
30 by 20. And the reason we changed that is because we have dancers. We have like the four different dance groups.
Okay,
And they won't be able to fit on one of those little stages, especially the dance group that's got open arms, has got individuals who are in wheelchairs. And so we
Okay.
needed to be able to have a footprint for how many people are going to be on stage.
okay. Can you do me a favor then, because it's bigger than 400 square feet? Can you send me over the specifications for the stage, the manufacturer specifications?
Okay, I'll get that
Wonderful.
from the rental place.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
None from Boise Fire Operations. Your medical plan looks good. Thanks.
Nothing from Boise Police. We're all good. Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much for putting everything together. We got all the documentations for your emergency action plan. Thanks for the conversations on the drone. So we'll just wait for that finalized traffic control plan to be approved by ACHD, and then we'll get this all put together. We'll share it with any of the responders working that day. So if they do need to come down to your footprint, they know how to get in and out easily. So outside of that, thank you for a great job.
Thank you, Dana, for everything. Nice to meet
Yeah.
you virtually and Eric in person here. We appreciate you sending the updates through, and I do kind of help navigate those with making sure everybody has the most updated map, and we can tell by the date it was submitted. So we do our best to sift through those, but if you do have any questions or I can help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, and I just want to clarify to everybody here, I may be here in person, but all of this was Dana. I mean, she's the one that's been.
Oh, don't worry.
keeping in touch with
That was
everybody.
evident in the
That was it,
presentation.
sort of- Yeah, right. That was the assumption, right?
Yeah.
So, no, she's been amazing on this from start to finish. It's not her first rodeo.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're looking forward to the event, and you guys can breathe a sigh of relief. You're good to go.
All right. Thanks. Thanks for all the support from the city.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Next up, Ironman.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jason.
Hi.
Can you see the Zoom? Okay, Jason?
Yes, looks like we're on page 2 here. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Mashad. I'm going to be the race director for this year's Ironman 70.3 Boise. I'm super excited to be in this role, and we're looking forward to the event. This map here is just kind of showing you our footprint and where we are going to be setting up. As you see, Julia Davis is marked as site Ironman Village Transition 2. And then over at Lucky Peak, we have bike check-in, athlete shuttle drop, and so on. And then you can see the other pins on there are supply at the Timberland High School. We also have a local storage trailer there. And then our staff hotel is at the Springfield Marriott. Next slide.
Can you just reiterate a little bit more information, the date, the time,
Sure.
the history in the area real quick? Thank you.
Absolutely. The dates and the time. So our event will be held on July 26th. That is a Saturday, but we will open up our Ironman Village starting Thursday afternoon. Along with that, our setup will begin Monday, the 21st. Is it possible to zoom out a little on your presentation there?
I'm sorry, to do what?
Can you like zoom out? I'm only seeing like a quarter of it.
Yep.
A little bit more. All right, great. Thank you. So a little bit about the Ironman event. It's a 70.3 mile triathlon. We start the race off at Lucky Peak with a 1.2 mile swim. From there, they will ride their bikes. Sorry about that. Along down Highway 21 in Gowan, and then out south of the airport, where they will come back and return on Federal into downtown Julia Davis Park. And from there, they will do a 2-loop 6-mile course basically around the green belt. Sorry. Our schedule is on there if you would like to see the production schedule. All right, here we go. So our trailers will arrive Monday. They will be staged at Julia Davis Park, at the parking lot just north of the Rose Garden there. We will also have a supply trailer delivered to Timberland High, along with our vendors for the tents and traffic control and barricades. They will also have a trailer at these locations. Tuesday, our staff will start setting up the expo, the transition to the finish line. Pretty easy setup day for us. Wednesday, we get transition 1, which is Lucky Peak. I will have my staff head up that way around noon to start the layout of that transition in the park there. That's Barclay Bay. Thursday, we will just continue with our setup. The course teams will be out marking all the roads with duct tape arrows, which they will remove, along with signage. Thursday night, we have a kids race that'll be hosted at the zoo. We welcome everyone to join us. It's going to be very exciting. That's at 5:30 to 8:30. All right. We'll also open our venue on Thursday, just so you saw up there. Ironman Village open from 1 to 6. So in the village, we will have multiple vendors. We're working on our list right now. We got a food vendors signed up. They're in the contacts. We're just getting the final details from them now. Along with all the product vendors. Our expo team is getting that list to me shortly. All right, come Friday, this is a big day for us. This is when we will have bike check-in up at Lucky Peak. So our athletes will be going up to the reservoir to drop their bikes. We will also have the village opens for check-in of the athletes. We'll have a good to go meeting at the end there to make sure we're all set on course and everything, and we're ready to host our event on Saturday. If you scroll that next slide, it gives us more detailed Saturday. Oh, sorry, here's the event schedule. And this is what our athletes see. So this is the most accurate schedule we have for them. All right, if you go to that next slide. All right, so this is a big one. Transition 2, which is Julia Davis Park, will be opening at 3:45. That allows the athletes just to drop off any nutrition or last minute stuff they need. From there, they'll be jumping on the shuttle buses at Julia Davis and getting a ride up to Transition 1. Transition 1 will open at 4:15. That'll allow the athletes to get to their bikes. This is where they'll put their wetsuits on and start working out those pre-race jitters. From there, we will have our national anthem at 6:28. Right after that, the pros start. And usually 5 minutes later, we'll start the age groupers along with any PC athletes. All right, so as we go from here, the athletes will be taking off from 6:35. Transition will close. First swimmer will finish. These pros are usually moving quicker than 20 minutes, but just to kind of give you a reference, we put 20. First bikers on course at 6:50. From there, our last swimmers will come out. We'll cut off any ones that don't make the timeline. That way we can keep up with our road closures and reopenings. All right, so first bike finishes 6:50. That's when our first athlete will hit the green belt. And we expect them to finish around 10:50. Intermediate bike cutoff is to be at aid station 3. That's off Pleasant Valley. This will be basically we're just going to get any straggling athletes off the road so we can open them. We are expecting our last athlete to finish the bike around 1:15. And that, therefore, our last runner starts at 1:15. Intermediate run cutoff will be at 2:55. This allows us to clear the green belt quicker, along with the final athlete finishing at 4:30. From there, it's all tear down. Next slide. Here's our staff list. Next slide. We'll have this updated shortly. Next slide. All of your friendly faces. Next slide. Here's a list of our contacts for the vendors. Lower on there, you'll see we have our food and beer vendors on there. Like I said, we are working on getting the final details from them to submit everything. Next slide. All right, just a quick review of our courses here. So this map right here is showing us starting and finishing at Turner Gulch, or excuse me, at Barclay Bay. Recently on a visit, it's come to my attention, the wind and the sun will be directly in our athletes' face at the start of this. So we are in the works of potentially starting the athletes at Turner Gulch. We have maps for that and I will share them shortly. Next slide. All right, here's our 56-mile bike course. The only actual closures that will be on there would be on Cunnamulla from Pleasant Valley to the interstate, and then Pleasant Valley from Cunnamulla up to Gowan. So we will allow prison traffic though, for anything that needs to get in there, along with local. And as you see, those numbers on there are where we'll have our aid stations to help the athletes out with any nutrition they may need. Next slide. All right, here's our 2-loop run course. I've been in contact with a few of you already about what we need in those areas and how we'll go about getting it done. It's pretty simple. 2 loops. Our athletes are super excited. We're looking forward to this. Next. All right, here's some quick venue maps. As I said, here's the Timbo and High. We're going to have our supply here. So this will be where we load our aid station trucks before they disperse out on course. Next slide. Julia Davis. So this kind of just gives you a quick overview of where we expect to have everything. Next slide. All right, so this will be our venue or site compound. So this is where all of our equipment will be. We'll have it fenced off. We will leave room for the ADA parking right there. And that little bit of red is actually going to be designated for medical come race day. Next. All right, right here are 2 merch trailers. One's just flooring and one's all the fun stuff. Next slide. All right, Expo's a big one. This is our tents, permits. These are our food vendors. These are our beer. Basically, the whole perimeter of this will be fenced in and we'll only have a one-way in, one-way out. Think of it as like a Disneyland thing. Everybody goes through merch. But that said, we will have emergency exits in 2 other locations. Next slide. This is our transition 2 setup. So this will be where the athletes drop their bikes off on race day before they go out on the run course. The only thing really that'll be in here would be toilets, I think. Next slide. This gives you a quick view of where we'll be having our briefings. So this will be where we have our sound the most. And our schedule for briefings was on the schedule. Next slide. Here's a quick overview of the finish line, just shows you our footprint and what we're expecting to do. There is a crosswalk in the middle. The red Ironman looking carpet is in fact what the carpet looks like, so it'll be exciting. We're super excited to have this shaded finish line. It's going to be real great. Next slide. All right, here's just a little bit more detailed secure zone. So this will be all kind of controlled on race day so that only athletes are allowed in there. And this just shows where our main medical is going to be. It may be a little further back, not so close to the Rose Garden there, but everyone's been appreciative of that. So next slide. Just our expected shuttle drop-off location, or excuse me, pickup locations for the morning. This is where the athletes will jump on and take the rides. I do know that there was some construction there, but great news. It sounds like it's going to be done. So we're going to stick with our original plans here. Next slide. All right, here's Lucky Peak overview. As you see, we have, this is start of the event. There's lots going on up here in the morning. There we go. This will be where our athletes are getting off the shuttle. There's plenty of room for us to turn them around without injuring anyone. They'll walk from there to the transition where they will prep. Next slide. Just an overview of what the transition is we're anticipating it looking like. All right, so here is the swim start we have currently. This is what all the athletes are preparing for. If you go to the next slide, it shows our alteration start. This would be as if we move the swim to Turner Gulch. We would do this entire setup race morning, so there would be no affecting the boat ramp any other time. Next slide. Just a little overview of where our DNF buses and extractions will be for emergencies. Swim finish. This is where the athletes will come out and go up into transition. We have a warming tent. We will also have an emergency vehicle at the tent. Next slide. Bike out, just to kind of give you an overview, this is where the athletes are going to mount their bicycles and head out. Next. After doing their bike course, this is where they're going to come back. As you see where I have this arch, there's speed bumps there in the road. So I've decided that'd be a lot easier just to get the athletes off the bike there versus having them try to ride over it. And we will move along with that plan. Run out, pretty simple. They're just going to run along transition and cross where the crosswalk already is. On this plan, so here's our security plan. As you see, as the week goes, our footprint will grow and therefore our staffing will grow. And that's pretty self-explanatory all the way down. I do have a more detailed security plan if anybody wants it to see the locations exactly. Trash plan, I've gone over this with Conrad. We've been sharing emails recently, so I think we're good to go. Toilet plan, following your guys' rules, it looks like we're hitting all the ADA and rule needs. The only question I have is, with the food trucks, do I need extra hand wash? But moving on. Equipment orders. Oh, that got placed. Anyways, here's the equipment we're going to have. We'll have a couple forklifts on location. We'll have a couple generators. We'll have a couple carts. I've been in communications with Joey. He's aware of the carts. That's it. Moving forward. Party rental, this just kind of gives you a quick view of what we're ordering as far as tents, stages. There is also going to be a small scaff that we put our speakers on. Fence order, this is where we're going to have our 4-foot barricade securing our areas. Here's our ice plan. I have 12 pallets ordered right now for race day. The vendor is Icebox, and they said they have no issues refilling if needed, depending on the heat. I think that's it for this particular one.
Anything else that you wanted me to pull up, Jason?
There was the medical plan too, just so anyone could see that hasn't.
Okay, we can look at that offline.
Perfect.
Rachel has it there, so.
All right, great presentation, very comprehensive. Tanya.
Hi, Jason. Great presentation. I think we've been discussing this for over a year now, so I have everything I need pretty much. So I'll work out any last minute details offline with you. The biggest one is payment, and I can reach out to you later today.
Yeah. Hi, Jason. This is Ed with Public Works. Just some quick questions for you. Are you still bringing your own like trash containers and recycling containers?
Correct. In our local storage trailer, we have hundreds of trash cans that travel with us.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And then, yeah, just since you are ordering a recycling dumpster, it sounds like, just please make sure that those are dumped in loose and not bagged.
Just put a note of that from that last call or from last presenter.
Perfect. All right. And then, yeah, did you have a chance to, or once I guess you know all of your final vendors, just make sure, and I can send you the link too, but just the vendor low waste guide. to all those food vendors if you could. And then how's the beer being served?
And a great question. I assume a plastic cup, but I can get the answer by the end of the day.
Yeah, okay. I'm just curious if it's going to be cans or cups or whatever. So
They weren't too particular with it when we spoke last week about it, but I can get that detail.
okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hi, Jason Conrad with Republic Services.
How's it going?
Good, thank you. Thank you for addressing my long list of questions from yesterday. I still have some follow-up on that. But I think I'll just wait till I get there are a few items in here that you said you needed to update, so I think I'll just wait for the updated draft. And then also if I could get that either agreements or permissions from those private lots, that'd be great. And we'll go from there. Thank you, Jason.
Hey, Jason, we have your certificate of insurance, so you're good to go.
Hi, Jason. Thank you for the presentation. We did receive your notification of event, and our front office is probably going to reach out to you if they haven't already regarding the food vendor list. I know you said it's to be determined, so just like in the next 10 days or so, please make sure that you submit that information. To answer your question about the additional hand washing sinks in the food truck area, you guys are welcome to make those available, but ultimately you're not required to do so. I do know that some health jurisdictions across the country, they do require it. But yeah, the food trucks, they themselves have access to hand washing sinks inside the food trucks. So it's really just a consideration if you want the public to have them, right outside the food trucks. It's your call. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.
Morning, Jason. Good to see you. I know we've been in communication quite a bit as well. And everything looks good. I'm glad to hear that you were able to get the zoo reserve for the kids race as well. So I'm excited to see that. And we'll touch base. I know you'll be in town probably next week, it sounds like. So we'll look to meet up at the park and kind of fine tune all of the Julie Davis kind of plans. So thank you.
Hi, this is Heather with the accessibility. You mentioned the entrance is going to be through the merch tent, like Disneyland? Okay. So everyone goes through that. Is that situated on the path then? Because it looked like it was in the grass.
The tent itself is in the grass, but they do a flooring for the tent itself, and they'll have a ramp that goes to the path.
Okay. I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
And I sent you guys the guidelines for all just the minimum requirements, and you received that and signed off on it. So it looks good. Thank you.
Hey, Jason, I think we have everything from medical. Any of the staging stuff will work with Ada County Sheriff offline.
Hi, Jason. This is Jesse with Boise Fire Prevention. For Julie Davis Park, we are going to need a separate special events permit through Boise Fire for this. And then I want to have an offline discussion about the details. I want to go over your maps a little bit in terms of tents, structures, food trucks, and stuff like that, and then have another offline conversation about the details. So that's it.
Yeah, nothing for me right now. I'll work with Cameo on your medical plan and we'll get it all dialed in. Thanks.
Hey, Jason, I'll work with Payette Brewing on the permit for the beer tent. If you could just be sure on the food trucks you're gonna have, looks like they're gonna be a barrier or a part of your fencing. So fire is gonna require 10 feet of spacing between the food trucks. So just make sure you have barriers that are covering those open spaces as well between the food trucks. It looks like your fence order has probably enough fencing for that. So let's just make sure they get placed there. That's it for now. Thanks. Thank you for the presentation. You do have our PLA currently. If you could just get a chance to review that and get that back to us, that would work.
Copy, I do have that.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Jason, it's Rachel. Thanks for all the work you've been doing. Just to keep everybody updated, as Tanya said, we've been meeting for the last several months on this. So we are running a full-blown EOC with this, which means all the impacted jurisdictions will be sitting in the same room along with this event. They've been doing a tremendous job. getting through, especially the bike course and the water portion. So we just need to shore up what's going on at the park, and I have full confidence we will get that done. So thanks, Jason.
And I don't need anything else at this time. I'll make sure that everybody has your updated information that you sent over this morning. And then if they have any questions, they can reach back out. Thank you.
Great. Thanks so much, Jason. All
Happy to-
right. Anything else for the good of the order during this portion of the meeting? No? All right. Then we will conclude the special events team meeting and leave you all to safety and security.